Hello everyone, it's Andrew Hutchings here, still not a licensed physician, still never giving medical advice. This is purely educational and entertainment, and there's not many licensed physicians that have such good biceps. This video is about when it's a good idea to take painkillers. Sadly, if you have real pain, for whatever the reason may be, it's very hard to get prescribed painkillers. Most people who work as doctors have never dealt with real pain, and they think you're just overreacting or something. These are people that have oftentimes never even broken a bone. Not that breaking a bone is that bad. Like, it can be pretty painful, but you can also break bones and it's not really a big deal. But yes, the people that have never had any injuries or any health issues in their life oftentimes go on to tell you that you don't need it. But when do I think, no, I think take them whenever you want to take them, but when do I think it's best to take painkillers? There's two main situations. One is that, so say you get an injury. The ultimate goal is to rehabilitate it back into working condition. But injuries are not the only things that cause pain. Health ailments can also cause pain. Maybe you have an autoimmune disorder. Maybe you've got an infected appendix. Who knows what it might be, but there are things besides injuries that cause pain. So when should painkillers be used for an injury? We'll start with the injuries. So there is a stage of the injury process, which hopefully ends in it being recovered, which painkillers are very advantageous, such as right when you get the injury and the pain is really high and you obviously are not going to be using it to do anything, and there's absolutely no advantage to feeling the pain. So if there's no advantage, you're just going to be in a whole bunch of pain sitting on your chair, or you're going to be a bit more comfortable sitting on your chair. Well, it's probably nice to be a bit more comfortable. But once you get past the initial stages of healing and you get to the point where you can start to use it again, but it's very weak and you have to rehabilitate it, then it's very likely a good idea to at least ease down on the painkillers, if not discontinue them, so that you can feel all the sensations and you can know when you're doing damage versus when you're doing positive stuff. However, there is a catch to this. Sometimes it's going to be painful no matter what, whether you're doing damage or whether you're doing good stuff. And to do the good exercise for it, to help rebuild it, is going to be very painful. In that kind of situation, it can be good to take painkillers, ignore the pain, and do the exercise, because now you're helping it heal. So say you have a problem, and I'm not going to try to make a specific one, but where it's very painful to walk around, but you need to walk around to make the problem better. Well, that means taking painkillers so that it's a lot easier and more pleasant to go walk around are going to help you get better. Because without them, you're a lot less likely to go walk around because it's very painful. Now, if that walking around is like a very dangerous activity that you need to do very carefully, then yes, you should not take a bunch of painkillers. But if it's not, it might be very helpful. To kind of summarize that, if you need to be paying attention to whether you're doing bad stuff to your injury, don't take painkillers. If you need to focus on ignoring the pain and using it more again, whatever it is, take painkillers. Painkillers are just not good when they block important information, pain. But pain is not always important. Pain can also just be a burden. So that's the injury side of things. Now, the non-injury side of things. It's a lot less complicated. If you've got health issues that aren't getting, hopefully somehow they get better, but so yeah, I guess you could say the same thing. Hopefully your health issues get better, but say you have a chronic health issue that's not getting better and you're just in constant pain, and that pain is not giving you any sort of helpful information about anything, probably pretty nice just to take painkillers and not have to feel that pain every day, all day, or however often you're feeling it. Now, once again, you have to use a little bit of brains and think, am I only feeling this pain after certain times? Maybe the pain is telling me something. If that's the case, well, if you can notice that with painkillers, great, you don't need to stop taking painkillers. But if you stop taking painkillers and you only notice the pain at certain times, maybe you shouldn't take the painkillers just for those certain times. Maybe you should pay attention to what they are and try to address them. But again, if there's nothing you can do about the pain, or the best thing is to ignore it, then you should just take painkillers. But once again, not medical advice. So yes, if I had like an autoimmune condition, and I already went without painkillers and I know exactly what triggers it and what doesn't trigger it, I would just take painkillers while trying to improve the things. As you can see, it gets more complicated because in a hopeful, optimistic situation, you can somehow learn something from the pain. And by the way, this is an entirely different reason not to take painkillers than why doctors don't prescribe them to you. Their rationale is, oh, you don't need them. Take an ibuprofen, that's all you need for pain. You know, I've stubbed my toe before and I took an ibuprofen and it was good. Or I twisted my ankle and I didn't need any morphine. Well, yeah, because you just twisted your ankle. You didn't like get your arm cut off or something. People who have never felt pain should not be allowed to prevent other people from getting painkillers. Sadly, we cannot torture people who work as doctors so that they can know what pain feels like. Probably they should need to do that in order to work as a doctor, but they're not required to. So they will compare their stubbed toe to your broken back and tell you you only need ibuprofen. So yes, their rationale for why you shouldn't take painkillers is completely BS. Maybe this video won't be demonetized, but a good reason not to take them is if you can learn something from the pain, or if you should not ignore it because you're doing more damage. But if you're not learning anything from the pain and you're not doing more damage, make your life easier and take painkillers. Unless you don't want to, it's up to you. But life sucks when you're in constant severe pain. So yep, there you have it. If you learn something from the pain, or if the pain tells you not to do something, it's kind of the same thing, you're learning something, then don't take painkillers. If the pain is pointless, take painkillers. I hope you like this video. I might remake it and just condense it all down. Something for me to think about, but I don't like remaking videos. I like you to see the thought process. And it's not really that I'm just figuring this out right now, it's that I'm figuring out how to express it to you, to myself. Well, I'm looking at myself on the camera right now, but it's not to myself, it's to you, whoever's watching it. My website is andrewhutchings.org, where you can hire me for consultations, fitness consultations, diet consultations, supplement consultations. No medical consultations, but remember, it's not medical. No, you can have a medical consultation. I just can't give you medical advice. But it's not advice if I don't tell you to follow it. It's just medical information. And my book is for sale on my website, but I'm probably just going to link it to Amazon because my initial plan was people order it from my website and then I order it from the publisher, but I put their address instead of mine, and then I get more money from it. But if I get lots of orders, I don't know how many times the publisher is going to let me change my home address, and it can cause more problems, so probably best just to get it from Amazon because it is for sale on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and a lot of other places, but Amazon shows a quick delivery, so I would just get it there. And you can leave me a review after you hopefully get rid of your tendinitis. But remember, it's not medical advice. I'm not a licensed physician. It's purely educational. Your licensed physician can help you remain in misery for years and years. That's how great he or she is. Instagram is natural_true_fitness.